On Monday, December 15, 2025, the head of South Africa's National Prosecuting Authority, Advocate Shamila Batohi, the woman we all pinned our hopes on to finally bring the state capture looters to justice, just walked out of her own inquiry during the lunch break without a word of permission, leaving the entire proceedings in absolute chaos. And when the panel summoned her back into the chamber, she stood there and defiantly told retired Justice Bess Nkabinde that she wasn't coming back until she got legal advice, as if the rules don't apply to her. This is the same Shamila Batohi who has spent nearly 7 years promising South Africans that the masterminds behind state capture would face the consequences, yet not a single high-profile conviction has landed under her watch. If this doesn't make your blood boil, if this doesn't have you screaming at the screen right now, then what will? How much more disrespect to the rule of law, how many more excuses, how many more failures do we have to endure before we say enough is enough? Stick with me through this because this meltdown exposes the deepest rot in our justice system, and by the end, you'll be as furious as I am. Comment below right now if you're outraged, share this video far and wide so the truth spreads, because silence is exactly what lets this injustice continue. Let's unpack exactly what happened on that fateful Monday at the Nkabinde inquiry, the Presidential Commission set up to determine whether suspended South Gauteng Director of Public Prosecutions Advocate Andrew Chalk is fit to hold office. Ironically, it was Batohi herself who triggered this entire inquiry back in 2025 when she wrote a damning letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa, accusing Chalk of making politically motivated decisions, protecting high-profile figures from prosecution, and interfering in key cases. But when the cross-examination got tough, when Advocate Thembeka Ngukutobi started grilling her on inconsistencies and pressing her for straight answers, things heated up fast. Before the lunch adjournment, Justice Nkabinde even reprimanded Batohi for speaking to a potential witness, KwaZulu-Natal DPP Elaine Harrison, over the weekend, something strictly forbidden while under oath. The inquiry broke for lunch, everyone expecting proceedings to resume normally. But when they reconvened, Batohi was nowhere to be seen. Her team awkwardly explained that she wanted to be excused to seek legal advice. The panel wasn't having it. They summoned her back immediately. When she finally appeared, Batohi admitted she had made the unilateral decision herself, without asking permission, insisting it was about her personal integrity and that she wouldn't be shouted at. Justice Nkabinde fired back, reminding her that this inquiry existed because of Batohi's own complaint to the president, and walking out was nothing short of disrespectful to the entire process, to Parliament, and to the nation. Batohi claimed it wasn't her intention to be disrespectful, but her actions spoke louder. She refused to continue testifying that day. The inquiry was forced to adjourn until January 2026, leaving Chalk's case hanging and raising massive questions about Batohi's credibility. Parliament's Justice Committee chairperson, Zola Nkola, called her conduct an outright affront to the rule of law. Legal experts slammed her, saying the head of the NPA undermining due process like this destroys public trust in an institution already on life support. And tell me, on a smaller note, how many times have you seen someone in power just walk away from accountability like that? Comment below if you've ever witnessed anything similar in your workplace or community. This walkout isn't just courtroom drama, it's a symptom of something far more sinister. Shamila Batohi was appointed in February 2019 with enormous fanfare, the first woman NDPP, fresh from the International Criminal Court, promising to rebuild the NPA after the devastation of state capture and deliver justice for the billions looted. She came in talking big about prosecuting the corrupt, restoring independence, and making sure no one was above the law. South Africans bought it. We needed hope after the Zuma years hollowed out the institution. But fast forward nearly 7 years, and what do we have? Zero, absolutely zero, high-profile convictions for state capture crimes. Not one politician in orange overalls. The big fish are still swimming free while the NPA touts numbers like thousands of corruption convictions and billions in frozen assets. But dig deeper, and those are mostly lower-level officials or private sector players. Former prosecutors like Glynis Breitenbach have called it out bluntly. Batohi will be remembered for failing to secure any state capture prosecutions. Cases bungled left and right, the Gupta extradition collapsing, technical errors throwing out indictments, delays that never end. And here's a trivial question to lighten the rage for a second. What do you think is the most embarrassing NPA blunder under Batohi? The failed Gupta extradition or the procedural mess-ups in major trials? Drop your pick in the comments. During the Nkabinde inquiry, Ngukurtobi exposed inconsistencies in Batohi's story. She accused Chalk of bad decisions, but admitted she hadn't read key dockets herself, relying on subordinates. Yet other countries rebuilt faster. Rwanda transformed its justice system in less time. Why not here? Is it really just resources or a lack of will? Batohi defends that success isn't only politicians jailed, that rebuilding takes patience. But South Africans needed symbolic wins, those orange overalls, to restore faith. Without them, trust plummets. Her term ends in January 2026, the first NDPP since democracy to complete a full term without being fired or quitting. Some call it stability. Others say she never rocked the boat enough to threaten the powerful. Parliament is already interviewing replacements, names like Advocate Andrea Johnson floating around. Whoever comes next inherits the mess. Promises unfulfilled, cases stalled, public cynicism at an all-time high. The Nkabinde inquiry resumes in January, and Batohi must return to finish her testimony. Chalk's team argues she forfeited her right by walking out, but she'll likely be allowed back. The real question: will she finally answer the hard questions, or dodge again? This saga leaves us asking, is Shamila Batohi incompetent, compromised, or both? Or is the system so broken no one can fix it? South Africans deserved accountability for the looting that crippled our country. We got excuses, delays, and now a dramatic walkout from the one person supposed to deliver justice. If you're furious that 7 years yielded nothing while corruption thrives, comment your outrage below right now. And quick question: do you think Batohi is more incompetent or compromised? Vote in the comments. Another small one: how long do you predict the next NDPP will last before facing the same pressures? What shocked you most in this meltdown? Her refusing to return without lawyers, or the zero state capture convictions after all these years? Do you believe the NPA can ever recover public trust under the current setup? Yes or no? And finally, if you could ask Batohi one question face-to-face, what would it be? Share it below. We can't let this fade. Demand answers. Demand justice. Hit like if you're angry, subscribe for more exposés on South African corruption. Share this so everyone wakes up. Your voice matters. Together, we hold them accountable. Stay furious, stay vigilant.